Hello and welcome to my channel. My name's Liv. You may know me from Nicholas Light TV's YouTube or Twitch channel. If not, hi, I'm Liv. I'm 25. I'm an artist. I am engaged to Nicholas Light TV. And yeah, welcome to my YouTube channel. So a little bit about me. I'm an artist, as I said. I went to art school and I majored in printmaking, but I've done a bit of everything. I love everything that is art, so it's hard to just pick one medium. So I do a lot of different stuff depending on how I'm feeling, what's most inspiring to me right now. I'm also a really big collector. I love to collect like figures, as you can see behind me, plushies, which are down there, just like squished in there. Not only do I like to collect anime figures, but like blind box figures I really love. I also love to collect like stickers and artist prints and keychains and literally anything that is cute. I probably want to collect it. I'm also super into plants. I'm not the best plant parent, but I'm okay. None have died thus far. One I've had for like over 7 years, so I also am really into manga and webcomics. As you can see some of those in the background as well. All of my passions in one place. I also really love to collect artist books. I don't have a lot, but the ones that I have, I love very much. I also love to travel, and I'm a super big foodie. I feel like for me, they go hand in hand. If I'm traveling, I'm trying lots of new food. I'm eating 3 meals a day instead of 2. Like, I love to eat and travel at the same time, not separately. So I asked y'all to ask me some questions on my personal Instagram at LiveLikesToLive. But before we get into those questions, I just wanted to talk about a couple of things that I plan to do with this channel. So first and foremost, being an artist, I really plan to make a lot of art-related content, be it studio vlogs or behind-the-scenes sneak peeks of products that I'm working on, launching my shop page, re-editing my website, things like that. I want to take you behind the scenes, show you my process, bring you along, something that maybe you could draw along to or get inspired by. Also, I plan to do some art challenges, some that I've come up with, some that others have done, non-art related. I want to do some travel vlogs. I took some footage on my last trip with Nicholas for our 1-year anniversary. I hope that will be my next video coming out next Saturday. I also want to take you along on trips that we go on in the future, including when we go back to Japan this year. It's not booked yet, but we plan. It's a hard plan. We just have to do the booking for it. I also want to do some one-off videos, like things related to cooking or hauls or showing my figure or sticker collection, things like that. Lastly, I plan on doing some gaming content as well as maybe some anime reactions, specifically to anime that come from manga that I've already read, especially romance anime. I haven't watched a lot of anime, but I've read a lot of manga. Like, the selection behind me is just like my favorites and ones that like bring me the most nostalgia or ones that I'm currently reading, but I have a lot more. So I've read a lot of manga but I haven't watched a lot of anime, and I have not watched a romance anime as of yet. So maybe we shall see how I am feeling about it. I don't know, maybe I'll film it and I'll hate it and then I won't upload it, but I do want to try it potentially. So let's jump into the questions. Where's your favorite place you've traveled to this year? So to anyone who knows where I've been this year, it might be kind of obvious, but Japan was definitely my favorite. I had studied abroad there previously and pretty much like been in Japan alone, and I loved it. Don't get me wrong, like I really loved it, and I was like, oh, I'm definitely gonna go back to Japan by myself. And I knew in 2023, like I knew in 2022 that I would be going to Japan in 2023. And when Nicholas and I like connected and started talking, like he was like, oh yeah, I plan on going to Japan in March of 2023. And like this was 3 days into us talking, and I was like, I know I'm going to Japan with that man. Like I knew it, like day 3 of us talking, that we would be going to Japan together. And we did for 2 months. and it was the best. If I felt like traveling alone in Japan by myself was the best because I got to do whatever I wanted to do and wasn't being held back by anybody, like traveling to Japan with somebody who has all the same tastes and likes as you do, and when they don't, they're still willing to put on a little like pom-pom Purin headband and go to Sanrio Puro Land with you because they find happiness and you finding happiness, like that's even better. So I really loved going to Japan. Like I loved going back to the places that I had been to previously and like having Nicholas try them for the first time, and I also really loved trying things for the first time with him. It was just on a whole other level, like going together rather than going alone. It was really nice. And especially going for 2 months, like we got to like find like our places, like places that we repeatedly would go to. Like we had like our udon spot, we'd have like our izakaya, like we had like places that were like our place, things that like we went to so commonly, like it was comfortable for us. But also like obviously we tried new places too, but like those were like our favorites that we would repeatedly go to. It was really nice. What's your dream place to live in? I'd really love to move to Japan. I don't know if that's realistic, but a dream would be to live in Japan, definitely. Like maybe on the outskirts of Tokyo, like so that you only have to take like a 30-45 minute train to get to like the center of Tokyo would be super nice. What country do you want to visit next? I really want to go to South Korea. The only thing I know about South Korea from like the vlogs that I've watched is that it has great stationery and awesome cafes. So I definitely want to do some more research into their culture and their traditions, and potentially go there in the future. That would be so fun. But yeah, I definitely want to do a lot of research before I go to really understand the country, because that's what I like to do when I travel. I like to know a lot about like the customs and the culture, and then I like to go. So yeah. What do you use for your digital art? It looks awesome. Thank you so much for the compliment. I use a iPad Pro. I got it pretty recently because my other one may or may not have gotten bent in half by somebody. But yeah, so I use an iPad Pro, an Apple Pencil. I don't know which Apple Pencil it is. It's pretty old because I just took the Apple Pencil from the last iPad and started to use it with this one. And I use the program Procreate. I also use a bunch of custom brushes that I bought online. I will link all the brush packs that I own below. Just because I link them doesn't mean that I currently use them. I bought a bunch of brush packs recently and I'm still experimenting with them. I don't really have a favorite pack nor a most used brush because right now I'm still learning digital art. And so I kind of try like a couple different brushes every time. Like sometimes I use one with a pencil texture and sometimes I use one with a watercolor texture. It just depends on the artwork that I'm doing. I really need to find like my brushes. I don't know. I'm still experimenting, but if you're looking for like, oh, I really want a halftone brush, well, I do have a halftone brush set that I've bought and haven't used yet, but really want to use down below. So if you're looking for something specific, maybe you'll find it in one of these links that I'll include in the description. So definitely check it out if you're looking for some brushes to add to your Procreate program. They also, some of them are good for like Photoshop and other programs as well. So even if you don't use Procreate, but you use like a digital program and you're looking for some brushes, I'd suggest checking them out. Which one do you prefer most, drawing digitally or traditionally? So I feel like it depends on my mood. With digital art, like if I want to do something that's like more detailed, I typically go that route. Especially if I want to make like a sticker or a product, I typically go with digital. I'm still learning how to do digital. Like I'm not very good at it. Like it takes me a long time to do something that probably takes somebody like half the time. It just takes me a while because I'm still learning. Like I know like the difference between like layers, but like I don't get like clipping masks or like, you know, how to make like sticker cut lines, like things like that. I don't know still. So typically like if I want to like try something out or like sketch, I'll go the traditional route. Like if I'm doing, like if I'm designing a character, or I'm trying to draw something for the first time, I'll go traditionally, because I feel like my hand learns how to create better doing something traditional rather than digital, where I still feel sometimes very stiff. So if I'm trying to like learn or like create something originally new, if that makes sense, I typically go the traditional route, and then maybe later on I'll take it into digital. Like I created a character recently, and when creating the character and trying out different things, I was doing that in my sketchbook, and once I got it down to what I wanted it to look like, I brought it over to my iPad and then really like finished it up. So yeah, I like them both. Who's your favorite artist or inspiration when you're doing your art or drawings? So I'm really into watching other artists' YouTube channels. Right now I'm super into Apple Cheeks and Megan Wang. I will link their YouTubes in the description. But when I'm on like Instagram, which is my favorite way to see artwork, when I'm not in a museum or like out and about at a gallery, I really love Chi Chi Little, who also goes by Little Miss Paintbrush. I also like Mercy Makes. I also really like Kokimori and Woolly Club Co. Also, Heikala is a longtime favorite, and right now I'm really into Alice Lee's ceramics. Just every piece that she makes, I'm like, makes me want to do more ceramics and like take a class or something, because hers are so nice. I highly recommend checking out everyone I mentioned. They all have like shops, and some of them even have Patreon pages, so I will link their Instagrams down below, and I highly recommend following them. And if you do, tell them I sent you. Tell them Live Likes to Draw sent you, because I really love them, and some of them follow me as well, which like is so nice. And I don't have like much art on my page, and the fact that they followed me anyways, I was like, oh my god, like it made my life when I saw that Chi Chi Little and Woolly Cub Clo followed me. I was like, what? Since when? What's the best artwork you've done so far, and what's your favorite drawing that you've made? So I think the best artwork that I made would be this. There's actually gonna probably be 3 images that I edit in. I made a lamp and a chair in a collection that I titled Unromantic Romance. I hand drew and hand printed the fabric, and then I made the lamp, all of the wood, like I cut myself and sanded and stained, and then the chair I thrifted and then cleaned and then painted and then gilded by hand. Gilding is when you paint with gold, or you apply like gold foil to something. I painted with gold for this one. And then I'm going to be showing my triptych here, which is inspired by religious artwork from like Renaissance times. And I love pooties, and I love Sony Angels. And so, yeah, I really love little babies that are like based on old Renaissance artwork. Like if you go to Italy, they're everywhere, and they're so cute and adorable, and I love them. And then my favorite drawing might just be because it's the newest drawing that I just completed earlier today. It is this one from a challenge that I did with my friend. I did not complete the challenge. Not nearly did I complete the challenge. She did complete the challenge. But yeah, so I'm really into this one right now. It took me a long time to do it because I started that challenge in September, and it is now January. So it's been a long time. What style of art do you wish you can do, and what style of art do you wish you could learn? So I'm gonna take it as the first question is like what I wish I could already do. Like I wish that I didn't have to go through the process of learning it, and I just like already knew. And then the next one, like something that I'm okay that I don't know yet, but I'm excited to learn about. So for what style of art do you wish you can do? Definitely like I wish I could draw like people again. I used to draw a lot of like anime and realism, and when I got into art school, I just kind of stopped doing that. Like I did it occasionally but like not as naturally and as often as I used to. Like I used to draw anime like every day, and I used to draw like portraiture like all the time when I was in high school, and I kind of just like lost that skill. So I wish I could like quickly pick that back up and like get as at least as good as I was, so that I could improve from that level, rather than I feel like once I start trying to draw like people in anime again, I feel like I'm going to be starting from step one and not be like at the level that I was at like when I was in the 6th grade, which is like hurtful to me because I'm 25. I want to be better than my 6th grade self. Which style of art do you want to learn? I'm really excited to get back into ceramics. Like I was at a very basic level of ceramics, but I'm hoping this year to get back into ceramics and improve like my level. Like I could do like hand building, but I never learned how to throw on a wheel. So that's what I'm like really wanting to do this year. I've been on like the ceramic side of Instagram and looking at a bunch of amazing ceramicists, and I'm like so wanting to be able to do that. When did you learn that you liked art? So art was always kind of a constant for me. Like it wasn't like one day I woke up and was like, oh, I like art. Like when I was a kid, like as soon as my mom was able to enroll me in like mommy and me art classes, like we were in it. Like I don't remember a time in which I wasn't doing art. Like obviously I have memories where I'm not making art, like, but I don't remember a time in my life in which I wasn't being like creative or like doing arts and crafts or like going to museums. My mom is an artist, like she's a ceramicist and a florist, and so she really pushed me into doing art. My dad like framed houses to get through college, so like they really encouraged like a creative means of expression, and really encouraged that when they saw that I liked it. When I started taking art seriously though was the 4th grade. That's when I got my mom got me my first manga and was like, hey, you don't like to read, why don't you try reading this, because it's mostly pictures. And I fell in love with manga, and I fell in love with like the manga style, and I fell in love like with the anime style. And so that's when I started to take art seriously, because I was like, wait, this can be a career that isn't like being a fine artist in a museum. Like there are ways to be an artist that doesn't require you to be like a fine artist. How and when did your interest in anime begin? So I have read manga since the 4th grade, as I just mentioned, but I didn't watch anime until I met Nicholas. Nicholas showed me my first anime, which was Demon Slayer, and then he showed me JJK, and then Chainsaw Man, and then Attack on Titan, and then a couple of other ones that I'm forgetting off the top of my head. And that's when I got into anime. For some reason, I always saw it as like, oh, like action, like that's the popular thing, I'm not gonna be into that, which makes no sense because I grew up watching all of like the famous action movies with my dad. Like I prefer action movies over like romances, so I don't know why I felt like I wouldn't like action anime. Probably because I only really read romance manga, but I was like, no, I won't like action anime, but I fucking love it. It's awesome. It's really fun, and yeah, I'm really into it, as you can probably see in the background with all my figures. But yeah, that's when I got into anime, because of my wonderful fiance that I love very much. Favorite video games. So my favorite game is honestly Pokemon Go. I love Pokemon Go. I met my friends playing Pokemon Go, so Pokemon Go has a very like deep place in my heart. I really love it. I also just love the Pokemon franchise. I really got into Pokemon after Sword and Shield came out. My first Pokemon game, and the only Pokemon game I played before that, was Pokemon Diamond, and I didn't even finish it. But yeah, I've played most of the games after Sword and Shield. I played Sword, Pokemon Snap, Pokemon Legends Arceus, Pokemon Scarlet. There might be another one that I'm forgetting, but yeah, I really love Pokemon. My nostalgia game is Wizard 101. I started playing that the week it came out, way back when, so that game has a very near and dear place to my heart. I've been playing it for like 10 years-ish plus. I don't know how long. I know that like the date that shows that like, my accounts created was the week that it came out, so that game is very near and dear to me. Lastly, I'm on a Fortnite kick right now. Some of y'all might know because we play together. But yeah, I'm really loving Fortnite right now. I just think it's so fucking funny, as well as being like a first person shooter, which I'm into. So yeah, Fortnite. What do you like to do in your free time? I love watching YouTube. I love watching YouTube so much. I find a lot of inspiration there. Also, just a lot of entertainment there. I love watching like other artists' channel. I also love watching like gameplay channels. I also love watching like channels that like read things from like Reddit or stuff like that. Yeah, I'm super into YouTube. That's my favorite thing to do in my free time. What's your favorite Pokemon of all time or favorite generation? So my favorite Pokemon is Farfetch'd, who you can see right there. I love him so much. I think it's funny because I'm allergic to garlic and onion and like anything in the aluminium. I think that's what it's called. I don't know what it's called, but it's like a family of like foods that I'm allergic to, and that includes the leek that he's holding. So like, while Farfetch'd doesn't really look that deadly, like he deadly to me. So I love Farfetch'd. And then my favorite generation is Sinnoh, because that's the first generation I played. I love Piplup. I have him on my mic. I also have a really big one in the living room, like the big one. If you know, you know. But yeah, so I love Sinnoh because it's my first generation. What's your biggest dream? So right now my biggest dream is to launch my shop. I really want to create a lot of artwork that I can get made into products like stickers or shirts or keychains or prints or stationery, and I just have a lot of things that I want to create and make and share with the world. It would be so amazing to see my art out and about in the world. So yeah, that's my biggest dream right now, to be able to put my art out into the world and hopefully bring others joy, as well as bring myself joy through creating them. Those are all the questions I'm going to answer today. Thank you so much to everyone who asked me a question, and I'm sorry to anyone who asked a question and I didn't answer your question. Hopefully in the future I'll either answer them through the Q&A with Nicholas that I'll be doing, or maybe I've responded to them on my Instagram stories, or maybe I'll be doing another Q&A in the future where I'll pull some of these questions. But yeah, I really appreciate you taking your time out of your day to watch this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. I'm pretty sure the next one will be a vlog from our anniversary trip, and then some art related stuff. So I hope to see you then, and also I hope to see you in my stream. I plan on streaming on Saturdays right after Nicholas. So yeah, I'll see you in the future, hopefully. Bye. Goodbye. Go away.